So when you look at the Ravens this year, what do you think that they need to do to put themselves back into the postseason?
Well, I think the Ravens recognize, and they've been good for so long, is that, and that's not to say they can't get back there this year. There's a lot of things that have to be done. In the past, going into the draft, you could look at it and say, well, how many of these back-end guys do you need? Because they're going to have a tough time making the team. I think when you saw Ozzie trade for all those fourth-rounders last year, it said, we got some rebuilding to do. And it's going to continue this year to a degree. Now, that doesn't mean they can't turn around and be a top caliber playoff, Super Bowl caliber team this year, but they have a lot of things they have to fill in because they're in that transition.
You've been in the draft room with Ozzie. You know how he maneuvers and how he operates in there. What's he doing right now? What are the conversations that he's having in terms of getting his group ready to draft this weekend?
Well, for me, it was about the point. This is about the point where I knew I just need to leave him alone, because it gets a little testy at this time. Because I viewed it from and John probably takes a little bit different approach, but my job was to be just another voice, all but as the head coach, and to prod the conversations. I wanted to hear what this scout said compared to this coach, and push and prod, and I want to hear those conversations. And the same with Ozzie. I'd go in and go, tell me about so-and-so. Or I'd hear this conversation, and I'd come back in and sit down, walk in his office, say, Ozzie, what about this guy? We're sitting here on Wednesday. It was like, leave me alone. We've already had the conversations, and because now it's time. The board is set, all but with a couple variations. It's you hopefully do your homework so that the last minute conversations on tomorrow and Friday in particular, you've already had. If you're having it for the first time, then you got a problem. But it is more, if you're deciding this guy or that guy, fall back, move up, this player or that player, we've already had that conversation. And Ozzie's the best at it, at soliciting those conversations. So, the hay is in the barn, so to speak. Now you just let the board fall where it is.